SecondBest is known for being one of, if not the most freakiest pro on the scene, having a successful YouTube channel with even freakier fans. But how did SecondBest go from a nameless organization to qualifying for Worlds? Let's break it down. His journey begins in 2020, where SecondBest started his career at IX Gaming. And IX Gaming in 2020 was an interesting organization, experiencing many players come and go. And just to list some examples, some prominent figures include Bobby, OG, Czar, and Crying Man. However, SecondBest was the one who stuck with IX Gaming throughout the roster changes. Unfortunately, their performances in 2020 weren't that impressive, only qualifying for 3 monthly finals, which resulted in a 5th place finish, far away from qualifying to Worlds. And in the next year, SecondBest stuck with IX Gaming, and they would finally stick with a main squad consisting of SecondBest, Chepo, and Crying Man. But Charles also played for them, so I don't know, man. IX was a true mess back in the days. However, Second's performances in 2021 was much better than that in 2020, as he was able to qualify for every single monthly finals until August. Why August, you may ask? Well, it's an interesting case. In 2021, NA had 2 slots available for qualifying to Worlds, and until August, IX was sitting at 3rd place, below Stamina and Tribe. And in the qualifiers during August, IX came up with a Death Note level plan. They basically Tony Stark the group brackets and realized if they purposely lose in the qualifiers, then they would get a chance to knock STMN out in the actual monthly finals. Which, to be fair, is smart but against Supercell's TOS. And they were found out and banned from the remaining 2021 competition. And how were they exposed, you may ask? Well, let me show you right here. By the way, if you want to know what happened in detail, Mortispins actually made a very good video on the topic, so you should check it out. The link is in the description. And in 2022, Second mainly scrimmed and played low-tier tournaments, managing only 1 monthly finals finish, with the team being named Daddies. Yeah, this guy is such a troll, man. In 2023, Second continued participating in low-tier tournaments, but he did manage to qualify for 3 monthly finals, which is a huge improvement from last year. But their team name, on the other hand, and to end the year, he played a tournament called Mom's Wi-Fi Cup. I mean, I appreciate the hustle, man. And 2024 would finally be Second's pop-off season, successfully qualifying for every single monthly finals that year, and even more impressively, they were able to win 2 out of the 5 monthly finals. Suddenly, Second went from playing for Untamable Beast to be signed to Pioneers. I mean, Untamable Beast might still be the better team, to be honest. Anyways, they finished slightly below Elevate and were the 2nd best team from NA. Man, I waited so long for that joke to come out. Meaning this was the first year where Second qualifies for the World Finals. And well, the results aren't that bad for its first time. They were placed in Group B with Totem and SSG. And Pioneers had a fantastic opening match. And of course, Second had to abuse the overpowered Frank in both sets. And in Brawl, Second had a nasty Frank set and also crushed SSG 2-0. But their next match would be much more tougher, as they were facing Totem Esports and Chaos absolutely smoked them. This super cycle was insane by Chaos. Totem wins set 1 and then the next map was bridged too far. Oh, we're not there yet, but still they lost. However, let's count how many dislikes SecondBest thrown out in this one single set. Arguably more dislikes than kills, but I mean, the game is the game, man. They proceeded to advance as the 2nd best team in the group and will be facing Humble in the playoffs. And I think 3 words describes this game: Kit on Heist. Yeah, everyone knew that Kit here without a Darrow would be a disaster class. Juan Carlos was essentially a sitting duck and became a meme for 3 months straight. But that set aside, I think Pioneer's drafting throughout the entire match was filled with question marks. In set 2, it was on Sneaky Fields, and Semantic goes for a first draft surge. But then Juan went Kenji for some reason. Although Kenji at that time is the #1 brawler, I still have doubts for this pick. Second goes for Clancy for tank counters, which makes sense, but then Humble absolutely smokes them in the drafting game. And yeah, the level between EMEA and NA are perfectly displayed here, as Payne's last pick was Charlie, which is the biggest question mark. To break it down, Kenji doesn't even have one good matchup, while Clancy has no range, which makes him hard to level up. And Charlie is just a trash brawler. Before the game even starts, the results are already determined. And in set 3, the drafting did not get better. I don't understand Kwan's first pick being Ruff's here at all, as everyone and the grandmas know that Rico on Hard Rock Mine is a beast.
I mean, Ruff's first pick? Staple diet in North America, isn't it, really? I mean,
essentially, they picked the inferior Ricochet brawler. But second going Darrow made the Ruff's pick more understandable, I guess. But wouldn't going for Gus be a better pick for buffing Darrow? Well, I don't really know. And with Humble's last pick being Clancy, the set did not go well for Pioneers. However, putting skills aside, Humble totally dominated Pioneers in the drafting game and swept them 6-0.
It's not going to be there! Ooh. It doesn't connect, and the shield is perfect from Lukey! And Humble proceed to the semi-finals!
But I guess losing to the world champions ain't that bad, and a quarters finish for Second's first world finals ain't that bad as well. And in the Big 25, Second parted ways with Pioneers and teamed up with old teammates Charles and OG. Unfortunately, no organization signed these three, and the first split of 2025 wasn't the best for Second. Although he did qualify for every single monthly finals, he only made it past the first round in March, where they then lost 3-0 to Tribe.
Suing from Tribe Gaming, it's a frantic finish, but the boys in blue have done it, moving on to yet another semi-final.
And in the most recent June's qualifiers, they failed to even make it to the monthly finals, as they barely lost 3-2 to Bobby's SSG. And following the loss, OG has since made his retirement announcement, meaning that Second is currently finding a new organization and a new roster for the second split. Luckily for him, there is still a slim chance that he calls to Worlds, as there's a 2x point bonus in the second split. But well, let's see what Orc's Second goes for next, and I wish him the very best in the near future.